Hello everybody, I am Daxon Islander, and this time around we're going to be talking about the political compass. Now surprisingly to many people, there's actually more than two wings. Everyone always hears about the left wing and the right wing and the right wing and the left wing and blah blah blah. There's actually two other wings, and both of which I think you might find very interesting. So with that, let's begin. Alright everybody, and as I promised, here is the political compass. Now, off the bat everybody's thinking, oh, there's the left wing, there's right wing. Now, for the people who don't know, the two wings above and below are the libertarian wing and the statist, authoritarian, basically big government wing. These two wings are part of the economic issue score and the personal issue score. As you can see, left wing is personal issue score and the right wing is economic issue score. Basically what that means is the more left you are, the higher your personal issue score is. So that's basically, you know, legalizing weed, legalizing gay marriage, etc., etc. The right-wing conservatives believe basically in economic freedom, or, you know, lower taxes, let them buy whatever they want, etc., etc. Now, statism is pretty much government knows best. You do not challenge the government. It runs your life. Don't like it? Get shot, kill yourself, or go to prison. Now, as you can see, there is a red dot in the middle of the centrist position, or a little bit higher. That's not mine. Mine is way higher in the libertarian area. I just got this off of Google. But, so, basically, if you'll see, the right-wing economic issues correspond with the left-wing personal issues in score intervals of 20, 40, 60, and 80. I would be more around the 90 for personal issues and 100 for economic issues. That's where my libertarianism stand is. Now, I have some friends who are going to yell at me for that, but sorry. So basically, libertarians are about freedom. Unabridged, personal, and economic freedom. We don't want to run anyone's lives. We don't want to tell anyone how to live it. We don't want to tell anyone, you know, you have to do this, this, and this, or this and this and this will happen. That's not what libertarianism is about. Right-wing conservatives are about, you do what we tell you, but you can still have your money. While the left wing is about, oh, you can do whatever you want, just give us your money. Statists, it's pretty much a mixture of the two. Now, I know I'm generalizing a little bit for any of the liberals or conservatives who are watching this video and feeling a little bit of resentment for what I have said. Now, keep in mind, I'm not talking about Republicans or Democrats. Those two are just a clusterfuck in and of themselves, pardon my language. However, the main thing I'm trying to point out here is libertarianism is not right-wing conservatism. It's not. It is its own wing. It is its own personal thing. It is nothing. It has only just as much to do with conservatism as it does with liberalism. Now, full right-wing conservatism could be called fascism, and full left-wing liberalism could be called communism. I have heard arguments for it, I have heard arguments against it. I don't want to go into it because I'll be here debating people for months at a time. So, let's move on to the next one. And this is another political compass. You'll notice that the libertarian authoritarian has been switched from up and down. What the fuck ever. I still consider libertarian high wing. Excuse my language again. So, you'll notice that the red dot this time is more towards the right and down to the libertarian. Not mine, but getting a little closer. So, basically what libertarians stand for as opposed to what conservatives stand for is full economic and personal freedom. We believe that taxes should be low. We believe that people should be free to do as they wish, so long as it doesn't infringe on the right of others or damage to personal property. We believe that as long as people aren't hurt, there should be no law against it. Drinking raw milk? Who the hell is anyone to tell you can't? You want to grow vegetables in the backyard? Why shouldn't you? All in all, it's about freedom. And I know I'm going to get a few people who are going to come up here saying, oh, you're making libertarianism to look like the best thing ever. Don't get me wrong, there will be some downside libertarianism, like, you know, having to think for yourself and, you know, not being able to look to laws to tell you what you can and can't do, you know, actually having to use your own judgment to figure it out. I guess I'm sorry to those people who can't think for themselves and can't use common sense to judge their actions, but To each their own. That's another libertarian ideal. To each their own. To each their own of the liberals, but it's my money, I'm going to do what I want with it, don't steal it through taxes. That's how libertarians see taxes, as forced theft. Now, I could go into how the conservatives want to keep the guns and, the stuff that the conservatives want to keep as far as personal freedoms and what the Democrats want to keep as economic freedoms. However, as I said, I'm not going to get into the Democrat versus Republic clusterfuck that it is. Pardon my language a third time, excuse me. But, all in all, as far as libertarians go, we believe that if you want to have guns, have them. Keep them. Have fun with them. But don't get me wrong, there are other types of libertarians. There are social libertarians, there are anarchist libertarians, there are all in all, there's just a whole bunch of kinds of libertarians. So don't take what I say here as speaking for every libertarian in the United States. That would be a huge mistake, and I would have to make an apology for it. And I really don't want to do that. Well, anyway, I got a picture from my friend Ben, and I'll be sharing that in a moment, but I'm going to share a quote from my friend Jared Mark. Quote, "It's simple. Conservatives want free market but enslaved minds and bodies. Liberals want free minds and bodies but centralized top-down economic control. Libertarians want free minds and free markets. Simple." Or to put it bluntly, libertarians are the, quote, "leave me the fuck alone," unquote party. Which, quite personally, I believe is true and is the best policy for us. Alright, I'd like to thank Benjamin Grant Bartholomew for sending me this photo that is actually a very good description of what goods and services would equal out to for the modern conservatism and liberalism. So, first off, we have total socialism, was where the government provides energy, clothing, housing, and food. That makes sense. Modern liberalism is where we give them universal health care. Now, those two things I don't agree with in the least. In a free society prior to this one that we have, or prior to the society we have now, way back in the day, you could afford these kind of things without having to have the government intervene in it. From what I've heard from the stories, you could walk in with a fractured bone, pay out of pocket to have it fixed. But that's another time for another day. Modern conservatism, for unemployment insurance, retirement insurance, limited health care for seniors and the poor, and education. This is pretty much where we're at now, in between there and universal health care. And we have paleoconservatism, fire protection, transport, roads, buses, and subways, also known as classic liberalism. Now this is where I would fall under. Minarchism. Police and security, courts, adjunction, and arbitration. Although I have seen a video how we could avoid this, but until we get to that point, I would just rather stick with minarchism. Now, voluntarianism, that's where my friend Ben is. Market provides all goods and services based on voluntary exchange. From the video I saw, this would work out very well if it were followed to a T and the government had very little, tiny, almost non-existent control. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe that there should be a government just a lot smaller than there is currently. But this is a government provides goods and services spectrum between total socialism and voluntarism, and I think it's a pretty good thing to look at if you ever consider what role the government should play. See where you fall under. Alright, I know. I didn't go into as much depth as you probably thought I would for the left, right, high, and low wings. Well, a little bit for the high wing. But as I said, the basic concept of this video was to determine the difference between the right-wing conservatism and the high-wing libertarianism. Libertarianism is not full-on right-wing. It is a wing in and of itself. Alright, well, I think that wraps it up for this video. If anybody wants me to go more in depth about the left versus right versus up versus down, leave a comment, personal message, yada yada. Share with your friends, just in case anybody who doesn't understand the difference between libertarianism and conservatism, go ahead and show them this, or show them in your own way. You've seen the political map for yourself. Google it. It's pretty easy to find. All you gotta do is Google political compass, and I'll take you right to it in the image section. And one thing I must caution each and every one of you who watch this video: I have lied in the past, I will lie in the future. Never take what I say for face value. Always be skeptical. Who knows? Who's to say I'm looking out for your best interest? I've lied, I will lie, and that's the most honest truth I can tell you. Have a nice day, everyone.